Okay, we got the RC10 four-wheel drive all painted up, put together, electronics installed, and I did actually run this, so I'll share some running footage of it as well. Just want to cover the build. Build actually went together pretty nicely. No major issues. A couple little tips. One person did suggest you install the belt before you bolt down the rear transmission. Yeah, I would agree with that. That definitely makes it easier. Thanks for that little tip. It also comes with shims for the differentials, but mine didn't seem to need it. So my diffs did not need any shimming. There's a little QR code if you want to know how to shim the disc, but for me personally, it seemed totally fine without it, so I did not do that. The one major thing I would say is that the rear shocks, the way it's set up out of the box doesn't quite work right. The outdrives tend to fall out. So what I would recommend is running all 5 spacers in the limiters here and the rear shocks only. So I think the front is like 2 or 3, but the rear is supposed to be 4. I would go all the way up to 5. I would also run the shorter shock rod ends here on the bottom. So they come with long and short. Run the short ones and then also run it all the way to the outside hole. I definitely would do that. If you still find that they're popping out, you can move in the inner shock inside a little bit like I did. That just helps prevent it from popping out. There is another issue where the rear dog bone kind of smashes into the thrust bolt nut or whatever you want to call it on one side. So whichever side you have the diff screw nut, it'll actually limit the suspension travel. It's not too bad in the front, but definitely in the rear, that can be a bit of an issue. Not a massive issue, but you will notice that your suspension does not go down all the way. In terms of the body, I did have to trim it quite a bit more, so I did actually just completely trim out the front. And then the rear, I made it quite a bit bigger here to accommodate the shock tower shocks, because there's just tends to hit the side there. So other little things, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with the front body stay post, so it does not actually extend far enough, so maybe I need to space that a little bit more. But yeah, no other major issues. In terms of the electronics, so I'm running a Savox 1267 SG servo. Very nice servo, not super expensive, so I'll link in the description below where you can pick one of these up. Just provides tons of speed. I like running this in all my 10 scale race buggies because it's fast, torquey, not that expensive. And then you can also run it at 7.4 volts if you like. Gen Ace Redline battery, of course. You'll need to have fairly flat plugs because the body comes down pretty low on the sides there. And then electronics motor, and you see what I just pulled a brushed motor out of my like a Spectrum. I don't even know what this is, like a 12-turn motor or something like that, out of my Armageddon. That works actually pretty well. I think this buggy can handle more power, but the main thing is I don't think the durability is going to be quite there with a lot of power. So this system actually worked really well. I'm running a 27-tooth pinion here on the motor. I did have to trim down the little drive shaft there because it was hitting basically this cover here on the slipper clutch. But yeah, slipper clutch tension, everything worked out well. Yeah, no real issues. I think I have the tensioner basically just going straight up. That seems to be pretty good, so that worked out well. Yeah, no other thoughts, I don't think. Yeah, buggy put together really well, no missing parts. Yeah, just a nice little build, and then now we'll share some running footage. Okay, we got the Gen Ace Redline pack installed, Savox 1267 SG servo, and the Spectrum electronics. And we're just going to see how it runs. So I do have the 27 tooth pinion in here, so whoa, this seems, she drives well. Tires hook up great, tons of steering, very well balanced actually. Actually flies well. I gotta admit, I wasn't expecting much, but this thing's awesome. What? So my only other like sort of vintage car is like a Tamiya Hornet, and this is 1,000 times better. Suspension is dialed. I'm kind of shocked. It's a bit stiff in the rear, for sure. Wow, you can pull the front end too. Okay, maybe need a little more endpoints here. Freaking awesome, dude! What? I think power system like this is perfect. I'm not even going full trigger yet. I guess we'll try to send it here. What? So good. So controllable. Flies well. Wow. I'm not exaggerating. This thing's awesome, dude. I feel sad for everyone that just buys these things as like a shelf queen, because what the heck? Such an awesome driving car. Obviously, I'm not going like crazy brushless motor and like doing 5-foot high jumps or anything, but considering what it is, it's great. You know, these spiked tires ain't so bad after all. I like it. Alright, going a little bit bigger. Then it stretches legs. That's full throttle. I think that's plenty for this type of car. You know, maybe 15 miles an hour or something crazy, but I think that's enough. I kind of feel like that's enough. So the wing is not maybe not 10-foot high jump approved, but it's alrighty. Other than that, it's pretty cool. Did some serious air there. Are people sending these things? I don't know. Okay, maybe the suspension's not set up for that kind of stuff, but I can totally see how people raced these back in the day. Maybe not the four-wheel drive so much, but awesome little buggy. You can try this all day. This is a runner, so Team Associated does say these things are meant to be raced. I think this and some kind of like, oh, almost scratched it. Some sort of like brush cloths would be awesome. Looking very RC Pro-Am. Probably modeled after these types of buggies back in the 80s. Wow, fantastic car. I mean, who doesn't love that? Wow. Well, I think that was an extremely successful first run of the RC10 four-wheel drive. Doesn't look like I broke anything. I didn't even have to change anything. My slipper settings, diff settings, belt tension settings all seem pretty good. So yeah, that was tons of fun. I'm shocked at how well this thing drives. I really am. I mean, originally I was going to put in a 13.5 turn brushless motor, but I think just a nice little brush system like this is perfect. Tires hooked up great. Hey, make spike tires great again, man. This is ridiculous. I never imagined spike tires actually would work, but this kind of dirt, this kind of terrain, I think is awesome. Not super smooth, you know, ground or anything like that, but it hooks up. So I think they did something pretty good here, something pretty special. I'll have a link in the description below where you can hopefully pick one of these up. I think they did sell out the first run, so it is a little hard to find, but fantastic little runner as well. It doesn't have to be a shelf queen in my opinion, so that's maybe the coolest thing about this. This does actually drive really well. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe buttons. Look for more videos soon. Thanks for watching.